everyone. My name is Hailey Kahler, and I work for Moody's in the U.S. I am based in New York, and I am here visiting our local Moody's office in Costa Rica, and I'm very excited to be here. I am a process engineer in the Data Solutions Engineering Department. All right, today I'm going to be talking about the messy world of data and how there's data everywhere at everybody's fingertips. And today, nobody can understand that data without knowing where that data is coming from, what's true, what's false, and there's too much data out there for anybody to be able to process it. So decision makers today want to leverage data that comes from many different sources around the internet, on TV, in your mail, everywhere, and be able to consolidate them and gain insights from them. So our goal is to transform data into insights that enable clients to understand risks associated with doing business. We try to make data readable and accessible in real time, consolidate information from multiple sources to create a single source of truth, and provide tools to drive those decisions. Sorry. All right, so the Moody's story. Most of you may know Moody's as a credit agency. That's what we're ratings agency. That's what we're best known for, but we are very much more than that. We are one of a kind risk assessment company that provides comprehensive perspectives to our diverse base of more than 15,000 customers in 165 countries, including 97% of the Fortune 100. Our analysts' insights and solutions help customers unlock opportunities and provide a 360-degree view of risks associated with doing business with people, companies. Ultimately, we unite our brightest minds to turn today's risks into tomorrow's opportunities. Okay. Okay. Today, risk is evolving. With so much information at everybody's fingertips, risk is growing exponentially, and that makes it more important for everybody to understand those risks and know who you're doing business with in the future. We build agile, resilient organizations, economies, communities capable of anticipating and withstanding interconnected risk. It's now essential to resilience. Moody's brings together vast data sets, deep experience, and groundbreaking technologies to provide specialized, agile intelligence that enable organizations to decode risk, unlock opportunities, and confidently make decisions in this new era of risk. We separate out the noise from the signal. So when you're looking something up, trying to find information, there's too much information to really understand what you're looking at. So we separate out and give you only the most important information so you can make informed decisions. And we identify single points of failure, such as facility, software, or component, and bulk up resiliency and redundancy. All right. In my world, in engineering, we focus, and Moody's, we focus on some crucial domains. Those domains are credit. So what's the credit of the company that you're doing business with? All of the companies, I think we have a database of millions of companies. Properties, people, economies, people connected with companies, people connected with the economy, criminal activity, like if a company is doing business with the cartel or money laundering, child slavery. We report on all of that so you understand the risk of doing business with that company. We also, There we go. We also report on ESG, which is environmental. That's your energy. How much energy is your company using? Pollution. How much pollution are you putting into the environment? And then social. This is diversity, fair pay. How happy are your employees? And governance. This is your ethical. How ethical is the company that you're doing business with? And lastly, we also report on climate data. So we can tell you if the company you want to do business with is going to have a tornado next week or an earthquake, so you know not to do business with them. All right, how do we do this? Where we started, in engineering, we started as a collection of many different smaller companies with all different ways of collecting data. We'd get data via email, web scraping, FTP drops, picking up a newspaper and inputting it ourselves. And this data comes in all different types. So there was structured data, which is Excel files, your financial data. Then you have unstructured data, such as news stories. And we combine all of the different groups were doing the same thing, essentially. And we needed to combine ourselves to make sure that we were all along the same pipeline. So we decided we needed to create centers of excellence around domains and technology expertise. So when we started, we had to come in and analyze what the current state of our systems were. And in my group specifically, we're looking at a process diagramming called UPN, Universal Process Notation, which is relatively new out there, but it's very much so more informative than your standard process diagramming. The swim lanes with the triangles and the arrows and what goes where. So we mapped out our entire system using UPN diagramming, and that's what you see up here. So there's a lot of information in a small amount of space. There's also the ability to include attachments, URLs, and drill downs, which is very important. So you could see something at a high level or be able to click on a button and drill down into that specific process. So this enabled us to get a holistic view of the current system before improving it. All right, this is a quote I stole from one of my colleagues yesterday who put this in another presentation that I really liked. It is the ability to take data, to be able to understand it, to process it, to extract value from it, to visualize it, to communicate it, is going to be a hugely important skill in the next decades. This was said by Hal Varian, a Google chief economist. And this statement couldn't be more true, and that's exactly what we do here at Moody's. We take data and enable people to understand it so they can make better, more informed decisions moving forward. So after mapping out our current state of our processing systems, we decided we needed one state for all of the mini companies within our larger organization to let that data flow through a common pipeline. So this is what we came up with. So up here you can see files arrive all the way to the left. That's all the data that we're getting in. That's your news stories, that's your financial data, that's your climate data, ESG data. All of that arrives in a raw format. And we put a validation system on the raw format to make sure that we get that data on time and it's as we expect it to come in. So we can alert analysts immediately if the file didn't come in, if it's the wrong format, if it has too many columns, if a phone number doesn't actually look like a phone number, if an address is not a real address. We can alert analysts in real time as they get that data so we can fix that up front. After that, if everything goes smoothly, we classify and add metadata to that raw data format. From there, that metadata that we add to the data drives the data throughout the entire pipeline. So we add system tags, we add who is the analyst that needs to look at that data down the line if something happens. We add what type of data it is. So based off of that metadata, as the data is moving down the system, it knows where to go. So our process is very service-oriented. So depending on what metadata each data set has, it may go in different directions. Sometimes things need to go through a PDF extraction. Sometimes they don't because they're Excel files and they're already extracted. We also validate on file schema and data validation in itself. So if we know that a company is sending us and we know their address and they send the wrong address, we know that up front. After that, we standardize and do entity resolution and mastering. This means essentially if you get multiple different sources sending you the same data or the same data about a specific company, we tell you what the correct data is, what is the most correct data. So if a newspaper tells me something about company XYZ, but a website tells me something else, we'll be able to tell you the truth. And that arrives in our single source of truth, which is right before we publish the data. And you can see this arrow on the bottom. So we keep track of the data as it's going through the entire pipeline with something called a lineage ID. So at the end of the processing, we can track back that data throughout its entire life cycle to know what happened to it, what we did to it, where it came from, what time it came in. And this is extremely important, especially for resolving issues with the data or remediating the data if the data is wrong. So we use a combination of people, technology, and processes to create a single source of truth for publication. We use flat patterns in data and domain experts to consolidate and link information. That's when I was talking about companies and people. How do those people belong to the companies? Do I own a share of the company? Am I a CEO of the company? Am I a director of the company? What companies do I do business with? You might want to know that if you're going to go into business with me. You want to know what my history is. And we also recently have been using AI to extract and standardize some of our data, which is pretty cool. Following this, so this is what my group does in process engineering. So you start at the top there with domain expertise. This is about mapping current processes, analyzing the current system, finding user profiles and inventory and process flows, and getting a conceptual future state idea. From that mapping, you can process the design state for the future state of the process flow. You map that all out using our current technology capabilities. From there, you create a workflow development, which is designing and implementing structured workflows, leveraging best practices and metadata-driven processes, warehousing operational metrics while integrating technology and tools into one platform. From there, you gain business intelligence that you didn't know to ask for. So we're giving you information that you didn't even know that you needed to ask about a company or the process. So we produce dashboards, deliver KPIs, and trend analysis on operations to identify opportunities to optimize those workflows we set in place. And then from there, we have continual optimization. So using this circular flow that's not up behind me anymore, you're continually optimizing your process. You're always going back and looking at where can I improve from here? Because in a technology world, I mean, tomorrow's going to be different than today. Technology is constantly evolving. People are constantly evolving. Data is constantly evolving. You always need to be on top of things. So with this model, we're able to continuously look at our process, our data, and make sure that we're on top of it to make Sorry, let me fix this real quick. I don't think there's a mouse on here. All right, I'll just talk through it. So we're always striving to be better in Moodys. Every day we find something new, we fix it, and we keep going. And we expect these challenges in a technology division, in a data division. There's always going to be something to improve, something to fix, something to make us better. And my last slide says a bigger purpose beyond data. The world of data is still messy. Information is power, and the industry is leaning more and more on data to drive decisions. This requires technology and skills that scale. We are providing transparency where there is none. And there's so many opportunities in this world. In my group alone, in the engineering department, we have AI training, data engineers, business analysts, my personal favorite, process and workflow engineers, which I am, domain experts, architect engineers, project managers, development operations, and business intelligence engineers. So there's so much opportunity at Moody's right now, and we really hope that you come and stop by our booth and say hello, and we'll be happy to get your information and go from there. Thank you. Hi.
Joshua, I'm the founder of VLA. Next is your Kahoot. Muchas gracias a Hailey. Thank you very much, Hailey.
Thank
This
you.
is impressive. So next, we're going to do the Kahoot. Vamos a hacer el Kahoot con Hailey. Okay? Entonces, importante, ingresar a lo que sería Kahoot. Pueden escanear ese código. Vamos ingresando, gente, para poder jugar. Vamos a darles un chancito para que puedan ingresar. Deben de ingresar a kahoot.com. Ahí tienen Joel y ponen el código de arriba o pueden escanear lo que sería el código QR. Y bueno, vamos a rifar en este momento un curso de VLA y un six-pack de cerveza Cemental. Así que yo que ustedes ingreso ya en este momento. Hailey, thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you for
we
having me.
admire so much what you do. We admire so much what Moody's do as well. So thank you for being part of this. For travel all the way down here. Hope you're enjoying Costa
And
Rica.
drive, but thank
Drive
you.
as well. Right. We have 18. We have 18 people right now. Podemos iniciar cuando gusten. Okay, first question. VLA Tech Fest 2024. Pregunta número 1, question number 1. What is the significance of using patterns in the data and domain experts in consolidating and linking information? ¿Cuál es el significado de usar patrones y data y dominios de experto para consolidar la información para poderla linkear? Tenemos more information, accurate and comprehensive data, faster data, simple formatting. What is it, Hailey? What is it?
It is B, accurate,
B.
comprehensive data.
Hey, most of them got it. People are paying attention. Great. So tenemos a Luis Di de primero. Ya, vamos a ver si Aldair le puede hacer el catch up. Next question. What is the primary purpose of adding metadata to the files in the pipeline? ¿Cuál es el propósito principal de agregar la metadata en el pipeline? Tenemos create single source of truth, properly route data downstream, validate the data. See, we got 5 more seconds. Hailey, what is the right answer?
Is also B,
Also
properly
B.
route the data downstream.
Tenemos, see, we got to change. Oh, we got to change of course. Dair está ahí primero. Vamos a ver quién se lleva el curso. What is the goal of continuing improvement through the business process management domain expertise? ¿Cuál es el objetivo de la mejora continua en los procesos de negocios y administración? Analyze, measure and improve, optimize business strategy and process, or A, B, and C? Yay, Hailey. So it is A, B, and C. Well done. So thank you very much, Hailey, for your presentation.
Thank you, everyone.
Big aplauso a Hailey. Un aplauso a Hailey.
Thank you.
Vamos a ver quién es el ganador del curso de VLA Tenemos a JJ.
DLA, certificaciones que te pagan bien.